What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today is the day that the big bad blown stroked VY1 tonner comes back for its final tune. If you guys don't remember this thing, we built this thing late last year. So we never quite got to finish the tune off and get this car completed properly. As the story goes, we were fighting some fuel pressure issues and some other issues with the car. We had some issues with the tyres that were on it starting to delaminate on the dyno. The owner at that point actually had to go away for work for 12 weeks, so rather than leave the car in our way, he actually decided just to take it, park it in his shed until a later date. And well, today is that later date. The last video you would have seen on this thing on the channel, we thought we found the fuel pressure issues. We fixed a few things on the plug on the hanger, but we did not get time to actually test it on the dyno. So this was the first run on the dyno since then to test if that fixed the fuel pressure issue. And so off we went. So there we are with a little bit of timing put in this thing. Obviously because of the fuel pressure issues last time, we did not get far with the tune at all. Shortly after starting the tune, we decided to just test how much the airbox was restricting the car with how much boost it was making. So we decided to disconnect the airbox from the air intake and run it up again. First run with the airbox disconnected, it actually pulled the power steering pulley off of the power steering pump. Obviously we've got the upgraded 8-rib drive set up on this thing for the blower, and the power steering pulleys, like most of the pulleys on the LS, are just an interference fit, and it just pulled the pulley off the front of the pump. But you could see from that dyno graph that it was actually heading for a lot more power, so we were pretty confident that this airbox was being a problem. So first things first, we had to get the power steering pulley back on the power steering pump, and we decided this time to actually chuck some tack welds on the power steering pump and the shaft to stop this from happening again. So a little bit of work on the dyno, but worth doing. Keep this thing reliable, stop this from ever happening again. So a few little tack welds, sorted that out quick smart, and we're back in action. So it's pretty obvious that the airbox was definitely restricting this thing. We got a much better result without the airbox. You could see the actual boost difference here. We've got over a PSI boost difference between having the airbox on and the airbox off. So we thought we were onto a winner here, so we continued to run this thing up. So we thought we were onto a winner by removing the airbox from the situation and getting some more air into this thing, but these back-to-back runs we just kept getting knocked. IATs were just going through the roof, we kept pulling timing, it just kept knocking, it was getting worse and worse. We had the heat gun out, checking on the cooler setup, and it was just, the temperatures were just astounding. It was getting really, really hot. Now we had IAT issues with this thing from the start, but this was getting just ridiculous. I had the fan set up with the misting ice water to try and get this thing cool. Setting this misting fan up with some cold water, blowing into the main fan actually does cool things down quite a bit. So yeah, we had this set up to try and figure it out, but what we actually ended up finding was that the relay for the intercooler pump had actually shut the bed. So the intercooler pump wasn't working, it wasn't circulating the fluid, and that's why we were getting such high AATs. So we sorted that out and we're back in action. So we had checked the cooler pump this morning, but something obviously had happened when it threw the belt. But with the cooler pump fixed and all the timing put back into it that we had pulled out, you can see the result here. Very good result, 661 at the wheels on 98 with the alloy LS1 block. So with a bit more work on the tune, we managed to crack just under 670 at the wheels. That was all this thing was going to do. That's with the airbox disconnected. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the power this thing has to offer with the no restriction in the airbox. Without the restriction, it was making just around 13 psi of boost. So yeah, great result all round for this stock alloy blocked LS1 with the stroker. And it was time to connect the airbox back up and do the tune at the boost level that the airbox was going to see. So there you go, as you can see guys, having the airbox connected is worth nearly 10%. That's how much difference it makes to the power. Pretty wild restriction when you're looking at it that way as far as percentages go. So not the best, definitely something that has to be seen to. You can see here the boost difference between having the airbox in and out again. So yeah, definitely a restriction. So that's this thing pretty much finished. From here it's just the other parts of the tune, the transients and things like that. We've got to do the cold start in the morning, but it's really great to have this thing sorted and finished and finally see some decent power out of it. It is angry. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out. See you. Bye.